was the Ken Bates era like?
Well, it changed. I mean, I just heard a there. I mean, I went round the pitch, and when save the bridge, right? Used to go. No, I went round with blankets. There was blankets,
nice.
And there were Chelsea fans throwing. Maybe I've done throwing stuff at me. You're not going to get much for a carrot.
Yeah.
And there was
celery, mate.
Celery's a different matter.
Family show.
But it was Save the Bridge. The club was in dire financial straits, and the club. And I've seen Batesy after. I've got no problem with Batesy at all. I've seen him and Susanna. I see them often around Stamford Bridge. But there was Save the Bridge campaign, and the club was in financial dire straits. It was in a bad way. And it wasn't until years later did we actually find that out. I guess I'm speaking on behalf of you guys, but we were in a terrible financial situation. Batesy built the hotel. The club was in £100 million debt, or there was a debt on the club. Built the hotel, done a fabulous job. Built the West Stand. Everything's still much written there. That they regenerated what's now the Matthew Harding and the Shed End, and then Roman Abramovich rocked up and says, "I'll take this," and then after that, as they say, the rest is only history.
And who was your mucker in the changing room? Who was the one you
I
had
had loads.
trouble with?
Oh gosh, I had loads. So I grew up in an era where I had Frank Sinclair, Eddie Newton, Graham Stewart, Dave Lee, Gareth Hall, Damien Matthew. Have I mentioned Eddie Newton, Frank Sinclair? Honestly, it was just Andy Myers, a little bit younger. We had a lot of young players coming through Graham Lasso, and we were lucky enough to have an academy at that time, apprentices. We played Man United away. We beat them 3-2. Sir Alex was on Sunday. We beat them 3-2 on ITV, and half the team was from the academy. People forget that we actually produced a lot of young players at that particular time coming through, and it's the best 2 years of my life are when I was a young academy player coming through, apprentice, and going into my first year pro. Without question, those years were just brilliant. It felt like there's a real brotherhood amongst us, and I loved it. And I still speak to all of them to this day. We WhatsApp and meet up and around the grounds. I see Dave Lee an awful lot, Gareth Hall, Graham Stewart. Very lucky. Yeah, but special time.
I love that. Imagine that group WhatsApp.
Oh, and what was the name of the? You told me once about a nightclub you all used to go to.
Well, I can't say that.
And
now.
you wore white jeans.
I can't say that now.
Jason's very white jeans.
Oh, back in the day, I wore white jeans.
You can see many white jeans.
I had cowboy boots and white jeans.
Cowboy boots and white jeans.
I could rock that. I could rock. Well, I thought I could rock it.
How fun. That would have been fun to be a fly in the wall, I'm sure, at those times, right?
Chelsea, proper team, innit? Proper football club. Really, Stamford Bridge, brilliant place to go and watch football. Proper old school place. I mean, dreadful travel arrangements. You can never get there or out. But other than that, and as I get older, that becomes more and more important. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to rank, we're going to rank Chelsea's 8 goalkeepers in order of least worst. Then we're going to send 7 of them on loan to Stuttgart, and then we're just going to sign Brighton's instead. So.
Perfect.
Yeah, good. Sounds like a good night, doesn't it?
It sounds like an excellent night. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you very much for that contribution. But you two know each other. I feel a bit left out right now because you two have got a whole, hey, TalkSport buddy.
We are TalkSport buddies.
And I'm not a TalkSport buddy.
Well, you may well be. I've never done. No, TalkSport's very...
Everyone eventually ends up there eventually, Becky. It's just sort of a spiral of sports broadcasting.
It depends how aspiring you are. If you end up at TalkSport, this is what you look like.
Yeah, this'll do. No, Jason's brilliant on the radio. The sports bar is an absolutely vital listening at the end of any evening of football. What Jason's done with that show is absolutely brilliant, and he's brilliant with callers as well. He's brilliant with you speak to any player, they all love him. He's great. I mean, he's rude to everyone, but other than that,
But Jason, it must be dream job now, just talking about football.
Do you know what? I'm so lucky. When I left football, I was retired early from football at 29. Didn't know where I was going to go. TalkSport, as we both know, give you a chance, give you an opportunity. And I've been there 20 years now. So it's been a great experience for me. I love the station. I listen every day. I listen to Charlie, I listen to Jacobs, Balls, every show. it's just a brilliant place to work. So
I'm sure
very fortunate.
TNT are loving that you've
Yeah,
been
but they love this.
so much.
I watch a lot of TNT as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Of course, yes.
100%.
I have TNT on the screen and listen to Talk Sport.
This bit's getting cut, isn't it?
Is that all right?
This bit's getting cut.
This is gone. We may as well stop talking.
This bit's not going out, is it?
No, but Jason, if we start with your professional career,
Yep.
shall we say, because you started as a pro at Chelsea. You were there for 4 years?
No, I was there since I was 11.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes, so I started Chelsea. So I was at Wimbledon, I was at Arsenal, I was at West Ham, Palace, and I didn't want to play for Chelsea. I was a Chelsea fan. So my dad wrote to Chelsea when I was 11-year-old, and could you come and watch my boy? Gwyn Williams come down, watch me play. Luckily there was a scout to come down and watch me play. And he invited me down, and that was it from that moment. That was the only club I wanted to play for. And luckily enough, I rose to the ranks, coming through at 11, through the academy, or back then was called, I was an apprentice, and through the reserves into the first team, and then I got sold.
You were an apprentice, and then they said, you're fired.
You're fired. Well, they took money from me, don't worry about that. I don't think it was quite like that.
What was that like, that moment, when your dad said, going to get you signed, they want you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only club I want to play for. So imagine growing up. There aren't many professionals that play for the club they support. There aren't many. You think about how many professionals there are. To play for the club you support, it's pretty special. And to come through the club that I used to stand on the terrace at the Shed, my dad would take me, and coming through, there was a player, a fan enough to work there for Chelsea TV. I've been there as a player, a fan, coached the academy for 2.5 years, and now work in the media. I do Chelsea TV every single home and away game, whatever competition. And I feel absolutely privileged to still be very much part of the fabric of that club. It's my second home, and it's the best club in the world for me.
Good, Joe.
Well, then this seems like a bit of a weird place to start. If we start at the end and go backwards potentially, when you are being told that you're going to be sold and you're out of favour at a club that's meant so much to you and still does, just talk us through what happened there and how you felt.
It was a tough call. Ian Porterfield, who was, God rest his soul, was the manager at the time, and he phoned me up and played Sheffield United at home the Saturday before. I scored my last goal ever at Stamford Bridge that Saturday. And he phoned me and said, he's sitting down, we've received an offer from Spurs. It's been accepted. You'll get a phone call from Terry Venables this afternoon. And I was like, what? Yeah, what's going on? Sorry, need to swallow.
It's all right. Watershed.
Yes, I know. And I said to Porters, I said to him, what if I don't want to go? I said, well, back then, if you think about the control the players had back then, they had no control, the club all the control. And they took the money, they made their choices. Unfortunately, I had to make my choices. I said to Porters, what if I get put in the reserves? Am I still available in the first team? And he said to me, not if I've got anything to do with it. And that told me he had nothing to do with it. It was all down to Batesy. And decisions in football, fans don't understand the business side of football. Back then, how ruthless, and it still is, by the way, but now players got too much control. They made their choices, I had to make mine.